Hello, guys. How are you doing? This is Foodie. It's been a long time coming, but it's time for me to make my update video because, well, I stopped doing updates when my scale broke. I know I told you guys the story. It's crazy, but it may have been a blessing in disguise. I always say you will become a victim of your scale. Yeah, you really do. But let me just say that since about 3 months ago, I've been about 25 pounds down from when I first started taking Mounjaro. I started taking Mounjaro back in July, and it's been an interesting little ride. But let me tell you this story real quick of how I ended up on Mounjaro because I'm not taking Mounjaro for weight loss. I'm taking Mounjaro because I have type 2 diabetes. Now, the crazy thing is, I started off type 2 diabetes medication was metformin, but metformin didn't agree with me. And a lot of people can't tolerate metformin. I didn't realize how many until my doctor told me that it was not a really unusual thing to get diarrhea from metformin. Okay. So couldn't really deal with that. Just seemed like it was kind of a crazy thing. I didn't want to even try. And I had also heard my daughter say she also had the same problem. She also has type 2 diabetes. So that was the thing. But they changed me to another medication, glipizide. And glipizide was a very strange medication in that it was constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. I mean, my blood sugar was like a roller coaster, and I was always afraid when the blood sugar would go down, I would know, and something would happen. So I was never comfortable with that, and I stopped using it, which you can imagine my doctor was not happy about that. Okay. And then she started talking to me about Mounjaro. And at first I was like, I really don't want to do this. I mean, I kept saying over and over, I'm going to try something else. She was saying, no, I don't know what else could help you at this particular point. But then I started taking berberine, and berberine really worked for me, you guys. I mean, I was taking 3 pills a day. I was taking the Tonic, Toniiq, and I bought it on Amazon. Not sponsored, by the way. But I bought it on Amazon, and that was really working for me, but it was not comfortable for my doctor. She didn't like the idea, and she kept saying to me over and over that you realize that supplements are, not regulated and this and that by the FAA. I mean, FDA. And you guys, FDA right now, they need to regulate more than they do, in my opinion. There's so many things out there that are causing health issues for everybody. So I'm not really impressed with the FDA in general, just saying. But I got to admit that supplements have been helping me out my whole life, especially vitamin D3, folic acid, a bunch of other things that I take for my health that have really helped with my health problems. So besides having diabetes or type 2 diabetes, I also have hypertension and also high cholesterol. Yeah, the big three, the metabolic syndrome, as they call it. Well, and that if that wasn't bad enough, I also have sleep apnea. So I've been on a CPAP machine for a good 5, 6, yeah. No, it's been closer to 10 years now that I've been, gosh, it's time flies when you're having fun, right? It's been about 10 years since I first started taking my CPAP machine with me everywhere I go. Yeah. Um, I don't really like the CPAP machine. So, it wasn't hard for my doctor to start saying, well, if you lose weight, you probably will not have the sleep apnea problem anymore. But, she didn't tell me at that point how much weight. I talked to my sleep doctor, and he said I was probably going to have to lose about 25 to 30 pounds, which, by the way, I'm at 24.8, or basically 25 pounds right now that I've lost. Have I tried not using it? Not really. I take it off in the morning sometimes because I wake up and then I take it off. Okay. But that's usually after 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's not on me for very long. And my husband has not said whether or not I have been, gasping for air like I used to when I first got the before I got the CPAP machine. So anyway, so she didn't mention that part. Okay. Now realize that when I realized that I could lose weight and get rid of my CPAP machine, then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I got to lose weight. And yeah, I've never been that concerned about my weight, but but then I thought, okay, this might be a thing. I lost a bunch of weight when I was taking the berberine, and then I decided to do intermittent fasting. The intermittent fasting worked better than anything that I have done, including the Mounjaro. And the reason I say this is because nobody ever talks about the fact that Mounjaro takes a long time for you to lose weight. I mean, maybe not everybody experienced that. I mean, if you have to lose like 60, 70 pounds, you're going to lose it, fast, or faster than I'm going to lose it anyway, because I only wanted to lose like 30 pounds. So uh, it had been coming off, Mounjaro wise, coming off about 0.5 pounds a week, maybe at the most, usually closer to a quarter of a pound. I mean, it has been very slow, you guys, so slow that I have a hard time, like I said, really keeping up with my weight loss. And then the scale broke to boot. So I'm tracking it from my doctor's office. I don't even know if it's accurate or not, but I know it's around 25 pounds. Okay, so that happened. I started doing intermittent fasting and I lost a bunch of weight intermittent fasting. It took 30 days for it to kick in because I started following Jen Stevens, Gin Stevens, and she had a book, a workbook that you could use, and that was very helpful. She kept telling us over and over that it takes 30 days, at least 30 days for intermittent fasting to kick in, and she was right. 30 days into the whole situation, I was losing weight. And I was eating between 10 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. And that was really working for me as far as I could tell. But my doctor goes, you should not be intermittent fasting. You are diabetic. That doesn't make sense. You're just injuring yourself. And I did notice an uptick in my numbers, but it wasn't a bad uptick, y'all. I mean, so I finally gave in. I said, okay, fine, I'll do the Mounjaro. And I didn't really start doing the Mounjaro until July of 2025. And that was partly because I had been going through a lot. I gained a bunch of weight because I was upset about, her being upset about my numbers and intermittent fasting. And then my dad passed away the same year. And I was going through all these changes with, dealing with his estate because I'm an only child and all of that. Well, I used to have a brother, but that's another story. Anyway, I got so upset that I finally just said, to heck with it. I'm going to do it. If it means I can get rid of sleep apnea, and plus I have knee problems. So, losing weight was going to help me out physically. I mean, like I said, I don't really care about the whole weight situation, but I was concerned about my health. And sure enough, I've been on the Mounjaro all this time. I started on the 2.5 like most people. Then I went to the 5.0. I stayed at the 5.0 for a long time, most of the winter of last year and the beginning of this year. I've been on 7.5 for about, this is, I think, the third box that I'm on of the 7.5. Now, honestly, I had no problems with 2.5, but 2.5 is a beginner thing. I don't even think you lose weight really at 2.5. It's just so small. And then at 5.0, I've started to lose some weight. Okay. It started to pick up. But here's the bad news. When I got to 7.5, which, like I said, was about almost 3 months ago, I started getting sick. I mean, I started having problems with eating. And mainly because it seems like it was much more particular about what I put in my mouth as far as whether it was dairy or whether it was greasy or whether, a lot of different things. And here's the crazy thing. I have never stopped hearing the food noise. Okay, I still hear that. I still have that problem. I still have a thinking about food problem. And the other thing though is at least at 7.5, I get full fast. I don't eat as much as I did before, but I do eat. So the food addiction that I normally have continues on. Thank you very much. That's just how things go. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she's on 10.0 Mounjaro. And when she was at 7.5, she said she had the same problem. But she says since she's been at 10, she doesn't ever feel like eating anything. I don't really want to go to 10.0, y'all. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but here's the thing, okay? I got sick the other night. I got really sick, and I was sick for 2 days. It was Saturday night, I ate some Costco chicken, nothing against Costco, but that particular chicken was really greasy. Oh my gosh. I think when I took it out of the bag, the grease or oil just poured off of it. It was like, "Really?" But I had to do that because we had played pickleball all day long, in a tournament, and I was not able to cook anything nutritious. I knew that, and I didn't want to snack on anything. So I got this Costco chicken and some green chili dip, and it may have been the dip that got me sick. I keep thinking something really set it off. Plus, I didn't take my shot until the evening, and normally I take it in the morning. And I suspect that if you change the time of day that you take your shot, if you've been doing it for a long time, it will mess up your system. So there you go. It was like the perfect storm. And I got so sick that Saturday night I was sick, Sunday I was sick, and then part of Monday, most of Monday I was sick. Today is Tuesday. So I'm finally feeling like my normal self today. But I learned a lesson, and that is do not play with your schedule if you're on Mounjaro. Actually stick to the time period you normally take the shot. Be sure to eat at the normal time that you eat. So I might have been food poisoned. I don't know what happened, y'all, but it was bad. It was really bad. It was the worst experience I've had. And the 7.5 has been strange. Okay, I have been much more sensitive to food. And I eat a lot of junk because that's just me. And like I said, I was not that worried about weight loss. And here's the thing, y'all. I really realized that I need to get serious about it. So I have a cruise coming up in 20 days. I'm going on a cruise. And I think what I'm going to do is wait till after the cruise and really get serious about this. I mean, I may have to do a little bit of intermittent fasting, not the 10 to 6, what I was doing, the 10 in the morning to 6 at night, maybe closer to 9 in the morning to like 7. Just kind of make sure that my food intake does not go outside of that time period so that my, insulin resistance can not get kicked in, because that's what normally happens if you end up eating outside of your normal eating hours. Okay. So I will keep you guys posted about that. I need to do a weigh in. I did weigh in at the doctor's office the other day, so I kind of know what I weigh. But I don't want to wait until I go all the way to my next doctor's appointment, which is 6 months away. So I'm going to try and weigh in before then. I think there might be a scale at my gym, at my pickleball gym. We'll see. But I'm going to try, you guys. I'm going to give it a good shot because I'm so close to getting rid of that sleep apnea machine. And y'all don't know how much I hate that sleep apnea machine. It's kind of funny, but true. Every time that I take that mask off in the morning, I think about the fact that I really should not have to be wearing this thing at this point. I'm so close to getting rid of it. But I will keep you posted. This is me, and I'm out. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. And also in the comments, let me know when you guys do your comments, kind of let me know what's going on with you. Are you on a GLP-1? Have you tried berberine? Have you ever done intermittent fasting? I'm always curious about who's watching and what their experience has been. So just kind of let me know. I appreciate you listening. I will be back. I will not wait this long again to do an update, y'all. Thanks so much.